Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 7th February 2024. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Hardan, 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 Haribol, TSV Nectar, NECTAR, Nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been trying to study, analyze, and discuss about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in this vlog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been doing in my previous videos. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my previous, present, and future videos. So let us continue with the topic of discussion for today's video. In the past few videos, we have been trying to discuss about some very important terms in the lifetime of every human living entities, whether male or female, psyche. These terms are mind, destiny, karma, and zodiac signs. We have tried to find out the direct or indirect relationship between all these terms, which play a perennial role in the overall lifetime of every human living entity, whether male or female, in a lifetime in this material world. In that process, we tried to discuss several case histories which authenticated the validity of the theory that we have tried to evolve in this particular matter. Today is no exception. Today we shall talk about another such case history which will make us understand the psyche of an average human and living entity. So let us proceed further with this case history. There is a place called Sinaloa, a province in the country of Mexico in Central America, bordering the United States of America. This place is well known for manufacturing, growing, and processing before distributing several types of drugs to the market in United States of America for a profit. In fact, it would be logical to argue that the very government and economics of this country runs on majorly the income derived from the sale and distribution of such drugs worldwide, including United States and Europe. This Sinaloa is well known for this particular type of illegal business. Now, the protagonist of our case history's destiny depends on his birth in this particular lifetime in Sinaloa. Nothing much is known about this guy who was born to a family of mixed parentage, whereas the mother was a noble housewife. The husband was deeply involved in the sale of a drug called weeds from Mexico through another drug smuggler to other countries. The surname of this man was Guzman. This Guzman's eldest son was born on 4th April 1957 in the same Sinaloa area of Mexico. This boy was christened Joaquim Guzman because in his later stages he was of just a medium height, hence he was called Shorty in the Mexican language. The word used for Shorty in the Mexican language is Chapo. Hence, This boy became known as Joachim Chapo Guzman. This boy's destiny was charted 9 months before he was even born, as it happens to every average human living entity. As a result of this, a womb was selected by this material world and the energy of destiny for him to be born in such circumstances that he had quite a rough and violent childhood. This boy was born on 4th April. Now we will take a detour. As I had mentioned before, a person is born on 4th, 22nd, 13th, or 31st of any month only to work out a huge backlog of his or her good, bad, or indifferent karma. It actually depends on the storage of karma of this particular living entity. This backlog of unworked karma may be such that it makes this person a star, a superstar, a megastar, an icon, or a legend, or a very wealthy and noble person. But on the other hand, it is also possible that the same living entity, whether male or female, has a huge backlog of negative karma. Here I would like to discuss about one very important mythological story in Hindu mythology or religion. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had two doormen or bodyguards who were guarding the doors of his palace in what is known as Vaikuntha, the heavenly abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. These two bodyguards, as was expected, was huge, not was, were huge, very, very physically powerful and menacing in looks. One day, four very tiny 8-year-old children came toddling towards these two bodyguards. These guys stooped to look at these four angelic children. These bodyguards did not know the real identity of these four innocent and attractive looking children. One of these boys imperiously announced that they have come to meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. The two menacing looking bodyguards laughed uproariously. They could not believe their eyes and ears. Here was the Supreme Personality of Godhead who they had been guarding for times immemorial. And here were four little children who wanted to meet the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. The two bodyguards very affectionately, kindly, and firmly replied to these four children. Kids, this is no time for you to meet such exalted people as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. This is the time for you children to play in the garden. So go have some refreshment and continue playing in the garden. The four looked at each other and then they imperiously announced, "We are not children, though we look like them. We are the four Kumaras originally created by Brahma to increase the population of this universe created by Brahma. However, because of our exalted status by birth, we refused to toe the line drawn by Brahma, and instead we told him that we would rather remain as 8-year-old children and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. You have mistaken us for ordinary children, despite the fact that we only requested you the permission to go and meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Hence, we, the four Kumaras, suggest that you return to this material world and learn more about life before returning to your position as bodyguards for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Saying this, these four Kumaras vanished in a jiffy, leaving these two huge, menacing looking bodyguards dumbfounded, stunned, angry, and frustrated. So angry did they become that immediately they proceeded to meet Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, smiled at them. he already knew by then what had transpired at the gate between them and the four Kumaras. Actually, it was a blessing in disguise by the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the two Kumaras, though they did not understand it then. It was the Supreme Personality of Godhead who had asked these four Kumaras to make such a strange suggestion to these two bodyguards and to ask them to return to the material world to understand life better. These two were very angry and frustrated when they met the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, they were well mannered enough to bow down reverently at the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After that, they grumbled that they had been cursed by four 8-year-old children who they had inadvertently or advertently prevented from meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These two demanded an explanation and wailed, Lord, what is our mistake? Lord Vishnu smiled at them. He said that did you not want to stop being my bodyguards and join me or blend into me permanently as exalted souls and to be a part of my own self? These two bodyguards nodded together. Then God said, it is because of that request from you that I made these four Kumaras curse you in such a way that you come to me for an explanation. Now I will tell you what it is. You too are indeed exalted souls who have been slogging for times immemorial as bodyguards of my heavenly abode for so much of time. Now, because you deserve to be blended into me, you can do so according to two of the choices that I provide you. Either you can take 3 births as demons, get killed by me personally in every birth, and then return to me after these 3 births jubilantly. On the other hand, if you do not want this: you can take 7 births as demigods, live your life happily, comfortably, and in the midst of luxury in those 7 births, and then ultimately join me after the completion of those 7 births. Jaya and Vijaya, the two bodyguards, were confused initially. They did not know which one to choose. Ultimately, because of their basic nature as huge, menacing bodyguards, they chose the former choice of being born in 3 births as demons, get slayed by the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, and blend into Him permanently. This they told God because they said that it will take a long time to live as demigods in 7 births, and they wanted to blend into God in a hurry. That was the reason why they chose to be demons in the 3 births. Lord Vishnu laughed. He could understand the psyche of these two bodyguards. They actually thought that in every of the 3 births they will be killed by Lord Vishnu, who had initially created them. Now you have to think in Lord Vishnu's position. Would you like to destroy something which you had so lovingly created? No. You will do so only if this creation becomes so unwieldy and irrepressible that it becomes a menace to the other creations by the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even this is not so simple. Behind every of these 3 births, that particular soul or living entity has to forcibly take immemorable or innumerable births as demons to qualify enough to take one birth where he or she can be slayed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is one phrase in Bhagavad Gita: Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. that is to protect the righteous from the wrongdoers and to punish those wrongdoers. In the process of trying to protect the righteous, I have to incarnate into this material world time and again. We shall continue with this particular theory in my next video. This is all I wish to talk in this particular video. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular subject. Please give me your own expert views, thoughts, ideas, and opinions so that I may blend everything together for the sake of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.